Welcome back to Pachter Factor on SIFTD.net. If you are watching real time, that's because you are a Patreon patron, or because you are a YouTube subscriber, or because you took the extra step of linking your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch Prime account. That's a 3-step process. It takes about 4 seconds, and there are instructions in the show description below. So please try to do that. It's free, even if you're already paying on Patreon, already paying on YouTube. It costs you nothing. Amazon pays us, and it's part of your Prime subscription. So go for it. Today's question comes from YouTube from Mesa Psych. If you look at the top 20 video games right now, most are shooters or have some form of shooting. Yeah, that's true. We've been playing shooters for 45 years now, and I'm bored with them. Have developers really run out of imagination, or is it just a profit deal? Is it smarter to keep going back the same well or develop new ideas that may be disruptive? Do investors get spooked by new IP or genres? What we've seen is there used to be a lot of RPGs, and they've kind of faded. I mean, in fairness, there are RPGs that are big. World of Warcraft is an RPG. Diablo is an RPG, and they're going to be giant. But the ongoing games as a service model is kind of forcing RPG style games to move into that and be more recurring. We used to have a ton of racing games, and we don't have those anymore. We used to have a ton of puzzle games, and we don't have those anymore. And partly that's because consoles got more sophisticated, and so we didn't have to have puzzle games. But you can do sophisticated puzzle games. That's why Portal, like, I swear I'm jonesing for Portal 3. I can't wait. But yes, I mean, the money flows to the stuff that works. And shooter games, what really happened is that I think that years ago, nobody conceived of multiplayer, and so they made single-player games, and they tried to appeal to all different tastes. And so we had about 8 or 9 different genres of games: strategy, turn-based, and synchronous, real-time. So real-time strategy, RPG, racing, sports, sports sim, shooter. I know I'm leaving something out, and puzzle. And as we morphed from single player to multiplayer becoming dominant, multiplayer works if the object of the game is to shoot somebody and kill them. It's hard to do multiplayer Candy Crush. I mean, you can do it, but multiplayer puzzle is what I'm saying. You can, but those tend to be one-on-one type puzzle games, like Words of Friends, one-on-one. And I think that you get the biggest audience if you make the game a shooter game. So Apex, Fortnite, Overwatch, that's kind of where games have gone. And it's brought a lot more people in, but I agree with you, there's way too much of a concentration, which is why we did this on a prior episode. PC games, you can go play any of these single-player games. They're all around for $2, $3, $4, worth doing. And I would highly recommend Portal. Play Portal 1 and 2. Oh my God, what great games. But yeah, I'm kind of gelled on shooter too. I mean, the older you get, the slower you get. It's just not that fun. When I played Overwatch for about a minute, I was like Reinhardt. I was just like a tank, and I've tried to figure out how to help my team by getting in the way, and that's the object of the game, and that's why Overwatch is a brilliant game, because it's kind of set up for slugs like me and fast twitch, great Hanzo shooters, and you've got a little bit of everything in the game. Apex is even more fun because you've got like spells and webs and just different you can do in the game, healing. I mean, and I like Apex. I'm bad at it too, but I like Apex just because it's the combination of the team, the composition of the team, taking advantage of different skills and kind of matching up against another team that makes it fun. But at the end of the day, the point of all these games is to kill everybody else. So it's still a shooter game. Have developers run out of imagination? I don't know. There's always new genres of shooter. So it's funny that you think about like last man standing type games evolving into battle royale. I mean, we had last man standing games 25 years ago, but battle royale really became a thing, with Fortnite. And now everybody's got that. So sure, developers are going for where the money is. Remember that Nintendo still chugs along without very many shooter games. But most of their games are not shooter games. They're butt stomping games. I mean, they're open world accomplishment, strategy and fun games. So yeah, I think that as long as there's Nintendo, there will be alternatives to shooters games, and Nintendo's not going anywhere. But I agree with you. I think that we're kind of running out of ideas, and the big money is shooter games, and so you're going to have more and more. Smarter to follow tried and true. Because what is the chance? I mean, how could you ever look at League of Legends and say that's going to work? How could you ever look at Candy Crush and say that's going to work? Those guys looked crazy when they came up with those concepts, and they worked. So I don't know. I mean, to be honest with you, I thought Fortnite looked stupid, but it's fun. And PUBG looks awesome, but it's not as popular as Fortnite. So I don't know. I don't think any of us can pick what's going to work. And I don't think most developers make a game saying $3 billion. Pokemon Go, nobody was like, oh, that's going to be $1 billion a year forever. They thought that'd be a fun little fad that made you use your phone, your camera on your phone and your map on your phone, and turned into $1 billion a year in perpetuity. New IP, no. New genres, yeah. I mean, people want to make what's tried and true, So coming up with a genre around an established IP, maybe, right? So taking a Star Wars game and making it a shooter is easy. Taking a Star Wars game, making an RPG is a little harder. So the Jedi games are harder, more ambitious games than the Battlefront games, and the Jedi games I think sold better, But like Warner Brothers taking this Harry Potter game, wow, what is different about this Harry Potter game? They executed well. It's just a great game, So I don't know. I mean, IP, it's easy to do sequel type IP, established IP that has been in games before. New IP is always hard. I actually thought Uncharted sounded lame when I first heard about it. It sounded derivative. It sounded like, adventure game, who cares about Nathan Drake? But man, good story. They did a great job. So you just never know. It's sort of like, Mission Impossible came from a TV show and Jack Reacher came from a book. It's like, but John Wick was somebody's original invention for movies. And it's great, So I don't know. New IP is hard, but when you get it right, it's really fun. So Last of Us Sony's really good at it. Sony comes up with great new IP. They're really, really good at it. Again, as much as everybody likes to beat up on Sony, they do a great job. Their games are good. Anyway, thank you for joining us on this edition of Pachter Factor on SIFTD.net. If you're a Patreon patron or a YouTube subscriber, we thank you for your patronage. That's keeping the lights on. If you have managed to figure out how to link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch Prime account, then we appreciate that you've done it. If you haven't figured it out, the instructions are in the show description below. So figure it out, because it's easy and free. If you already pay for Prime, you're already getting the option to do this for free, and we'll get paid by Amazon. So please try to remember to do that. If you have no Amazon Prime and no money, you're watching this a week late on YouTube, thanks for tuning in. Hope I'm entertaining you. And the price for that is you have to follow me on Twitter at Michael Pachter. Please do mention that I shamed you into it, and I will give you a shout out on Twitter. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.